instead of me introducing you, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself? Tell everybody how you came to be on this shit show of a program.
Oh, shit show of a program. No, I'm Tourguide Ted. I am the guide for Cult City Tours right here in downtown beautiful Clearwater, the heart of Scientology. And let me tell you, they are thrilled. Absolutely thrilled. They're my best buddies. Seriously. I mean, they invite me over to barbecue all the time. Oh, man. Yeah. This whole thing started as a joke. That's how it started. This whole thing started as a joke. And now until sudden, I'm talking to you good folks. So something seriously has gone wrong in the universe.
I always think I kind of know when we have a guest on the show how the night is going to go by how they react to that intro video.
Oh, I want that as my ringtone. I really do. That's I'm sitting here almost wetting myself.
I found that on accident, and I only found a little clip, and we used that. It was like 45 seconds of the Party at the Church Scientology song.
Man, I tell you, but that's actually wrong. These guys don't party. They're the dullest, most glassy-eyed people you've ever seen in your life. You see them wandering around the streets of Clearwater, the only thing that's missing is brains. Brains. It's an unreal experience. It really is.
But they're impeccably dressed zombies.
Well, yes, they all get issued uniforms, and they live. I can actually, where I'm sitting right now, I can look across the street and I can see one of their compounds, the Hacienda compound. There are hundreds of them there, about 6 to a room. And it's high fences, security lights, big buses that roll into the gate, roll out of the gate, load it up. And it's the creepiest thing. You see these like mass transit buses zipping around Clearwater, and it just says flag on the side. That's how you tell it. And they sit facing in, and they got somebody standing there making sure they don't look out. It's that weird. And they're everywhere.
You're deep in the belly of it. You're like right there in the epicenter.
No, I've got a Scientology neighbor down the way, and she doesn't even talk to me anymore. But that's okay. She wasn't really, that nice of a lady. So.
I mean, you got to take the victories where you can get them, right?
Yeah, take a victory lap on that one. Yeah, I'll take it as a win. Yeah. And I mean, I'm sitting here watching, and then one of their buses go by. These things run 24 hours. It's like ants. It's like a very demented ant colony.
But where are they going? What are they doing?
Oh, what that is they actually don't live on site. They got that huge big flag, this massive flag building. I mean, the thing's almost 400,000 square feet, and there's 2,500 of them. So it means a lot of empty space. But they actually don't live there. They bought a whole bunch of condos and apartment complexes, and they put walls and fences up on them, and they live in their basically like prison camps. I mean, I've been to Auschwitz and the rest of them. I mean, not to kill the mood, but it's like, dude, just have you ever seen Schindler's List? That's how you people are living. It's horrid. And they hustle around there. You don't see them. They get on the buses. They're transported to the mothership downtown. They get off the buses. They scurry inside, and then they disappear. And then about 12 to 18 hours later, they surface, and they hop on these buses, and they go back into their bunker, compound, whatever you want to call it.
So you kind of offhandedly a minute ago said that this Cult City Tours thing was a joke. Well, now it's not a joke. Can you tell us how it went from joke to thorn in the side of the cult of Scientology?
Oh, I'm pissing off more than Scientology. I'm pissing just about everybody in Clearwater off. Just me. And it started with this guy named Mark Bunker. He's actually a city councilman.
Mark Bunker is a veteran of this show.
Yeah, he's the wise beard man. I mean, he's an awesome fellow. I ran into Mark years ago. I used to be president of the Homeowners Association, the beautiful condo you see behind me. Lots of concrete. And he moved in here. And I got this phone call from a Scientology lawyer saying, you have to evict him immediately. I'm like, bite me. And they're like, do you know who we are? And I said, yeah, bite me twice. So, and they're like, well, we'll send you a letter. And I said, great, I'll be happy to shred it. And it's so he was here, great guy. They kept coming after him. They kept trying to get to me, and I'm like, yeah, no, go away. And he moved on and all that. And later on, he surfaced when he ran for a city councilman of Clearwater. And the dude won. He didn't even campaign.
Yeah.
He didn't even campaign. And this guy said, Scientology is a problem. And that's what he won. And he was sitting in a city council meeting one time. And he did this video later on. I love his stuff. And he said, we should start doing Scientology tours and have like T-shirts. It's like, my parents went to Clearwater and all I got was this disconnect letter. And
I remember that meeting.
And what I am is I'm a tour operator by trade, and thanks to COVID, I got nothing better to do. And there's nothing more dangerous than a bored tour operator. And so we're sitting back over margaritas one night because it's Florida, and we go, and it's like, what, let's start doing that. We got a bunch of people sitting around doing nothing. It's like, fine. So we literally spend $9 on a domain, cultcitytours.us. So no, sorry, I get ahead of myself. Cultcity.us. So basically, Cult City USA. And it said, all right, so let's get some information. And we hooked up with Aaron Smith-Levin, and the dude walked us through downtown. He hooked us with some other Scientologists, ex-Scientologists, get their stories, and that's how it started. And I've been walking around downtown ever since. I got this bizarre costume. I'm sure you've seen it. It's, L. Ron Hubbard loved to think himself a Navy man, and he would dress up, as a Commodore. They call him the Commodore. And so I have this obscene costume that looks like a third world tin pot dictator. I got gold braid and hat and medals, and I got like the medals I have on the wrong side, and it's like I've got like second place spelling bee champion, and I got a token from Chuck E. Cheese. And so I'm walking around downtown giving this tour, and I got the big on back of my jacket that says cultcity.us, and they look and they turn, and the Scientologists, they tried. Oh man! But I got Scientology that hates me, and the city of Clearwater hates me even more. I mean, I think they got hit on me. But
so I'm wondering. Before you met Mark Bunker, by the way, shout out to Mark Bunker. We used the fact that we had a 2-hour long interview with Mark Bunker to like get other people to foolishly come on this fucking show. But before you met Mark Bunker, had you said you're a part of the homeowners association? Had you had run-ins with Scientology, like related to being a member or the head of the homeowners association previously?
Previously, no, not at all. I mean, someone would show up with that glassy eye, and they don't talk to you. They don't engage. They scurry around. They run to their unit. They run to their car, and they disappear, and they come back. The only thing they do is Scientology. They don't engage with people. If you ask them hello, how are you? They're like, oh, because they don't know the answer. Hey, what's going on? Because they don't know the answer. I mean, you don't talk to these people. Hey, it's a nice day, isn't it? They go, yes. We've been sent good weather under his eye. And I'm just like, that's the kind of people that robotic response. And it's just really creepy. It's, you're hanging out. You say, hey, how's it going? Oh, hey, did you see the game? And, what? I don't watch TV. So, I mean, it's just, till then, that's the only engagement I had. They're just odd people. And then when Mark moved in, all of a sudden, they're all up in my business. And, that's when I engaged with them the first time. And, they didn't do nothing. They had nothing. That's one of the biggest things that my experience with Scientology is they're a paper tiger. That's all they are. And I actually call them toddler tantrums when they start stomping their feet and holding their breath. And, they're holding their breath and I'm not going to, I mean, they're just, I know. It's like, you ring my doorbell, I'm not going to answer. Fine, Casino's coming to get me. And, but no, I've never had to deal with them before. I've lived in Clearwater for, since like 94. Since 94. And I'd go downtown and I'd see the worker ants around the streets. They'd move in hundreds, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, all day long. I'd see the buses. I even went into the Scientology Welcome Center. They've got a Welcome Center. And just behind it's the OSA offices, Office of Special Affairs. We call it the Unwelcome Center.
I was going to say.
These guys are just, it's a very unwelcome center. And their little museum is weird. I mean, it's creepy. L. Ron Hubbard sank 2 Japanese ships or submarines. It's like, no. L. Ron Hubbard was a war hero. No, he got thrown out. L. Ron Hubbard, got machine gun in the back. No, I mean, if you look at his military records, the dude had, I don't think it's syphilis, but something just equally annoying. And it's just, and you go to this museum, and they have this museum to him with all this stuff that's just as made up as his stories. And I walk along, and there's this really smiling lady, very polite, never had a bad time with him. And she is like, hello, is there any questions we can help you with? And that's all you got. And it's an unreal experience. It's worth it. If you're ever in Clearwater, stop by. It's just creepy. They don't put a bag over your head. They don't throw you in the back of a van anymore that I know of.
That might depend who you are.
Yes. I think they walk in as, how much money do you have in the bank? Check 1 for broke. Check 2 for 100,000. 3 for 100,000. 4 for, hey, what's this bag doing over my head?
Just run in like, I brought my checkbook.
Oh my God, they do that. They'll wrestle you to the ground.
Like, you mean our checkbook?
Get him to the van. Yeah, here's get him to the van. Toss him in. That's one of the things people don't get about Clearwater is it's the only city that you can't join Scientology in.
That's what I was saying the other night. Scientology had come up, and I was saying that like Clearwater's the bottom of the funnel. It's not where they recruit. They're top of the funnel is cities like Los Angeles. Probably Miami would be a place where they would recruit if they were recruiting in Florida, New York City, but not Clearwater. They want the citizens of Clearwater to not join and to not know anything about Scientology.
Oh, they don't want the citizens of Clearwater to even be citizens of Clearwater. If they had their way, they'd wave their magic Farcash wand and make us all disappear. So to have me and a bunch of wogs walking around town, they're sitting there just having conniptions. I got the vapors, and they're just running around constantly. When we started this tour, I love this part. When we started the tour, they would try the usual Scientology tricks. It's like we were outside this huge flag building, it's been there forever, and one of their plainclothes bicycle cops rolls up on us and says, "Hey man, do you know what this big building is?" "I don't know what this big building is." And so I invited him to join the tour, and all of a sudden he starts throwing all these Scientology words at me. It's like, oh, come on, dude, do a better job than that. I'm insulted. We saw you coming a mile away.
Trying to infiltrate.
Yeah, and it's like, hey, join the tour, have fun. We had some good laughs. And then they started putting goons on street corners to intimidate us as we walk by. And 1, I'm a big guy myself, and 2, I'm really not terribly bright. So it didn't. So yeah. and so I'm like, oh, excuse me, passing through. And I just walk right past them. And so they were kind of upset that I wasn't, running and cowering in the corner, clutching my pearls. And they always had cameras that would follow us on the big building. They actually robotic cameras that would scan and follow us along. And I'd wave, and I'd take selfies. I flash in my gang sign, Cult City, and and so I got a whole bunch of selfies with Scientology security and Scientologist cameras, following us and trying to intimidate us. But that's what they are. I mean, they're a bunch of toddlers. I mean, they're a bunch of nasty little toddlers.
And it seems like they've really turned into the joke, right?
If you are on the outside looking in, it's hilarious. It's hilarious. I mean, it's everything from what they do to everything. I've had folks say, "Oh, well, you shouldn't mock their beliefs," but you know what? If a belief system had to be mocked, it's this one. This one is made to be mocked. I literally stand outside of their top secret. Actually, it's not the top secret if you're here. Their advanced organization, where you spend hundreds of $1,000s to read about the secrets of the universe, written by L. Ron himself. I call it the Big Book of Xenu. And I would stand outside their building with my clients. I open it up. I wish it was a pop-up book. And I read it from the great book of Xenu, 75 million years ago in a galaxy. And then they're just laughing hysterically while inside people are paying hundreds of thousands of dollars to get the knowledge that I'm giving my clients for $10. Yeah.
Right. They have a briefcase fucking handcuffed to their wrist.
Oh, my God. They got these tiny little briefcase. There's a place in downtown Clearwater called the One Stop Shop. My buddy Paris runs it. And I say buddy because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be this popular. I mean, this guy's awesome. But inside this one-stop shop, they sell vitamins, stationery, little locking briefcases that you wear with you at all times when you're doing your advanced auditing.
Wait a minute. Is that
ashtrays.
Is that like how near the police station you always see these kind of police gear shops? Is that sort of like you have to go to this little shop to get your Scientology swag? Is that?
Yes, that's exactly it. You see, I'm not a Scientologist. Never have been. Didn't escape from it. So everything I've got is secondhand information innuendo. And as we all know, innuendo is Italian for enema. And so
I got Italian.
and so inside this where was I? I saw
little tiny briefcase.
Oh, a little tiny briefcase, yeah. But anyway, in the source, and what L. Ron Hubbard wrote, that's the word. There is no interpretation at all. So if you do auditing, it must be on a yellow legal-sized paper with a big pen. And if you arrive, you don't have the stuff, so you got to drop the big coin on overpriced gear in order to go do your overpriced auditing. And the entire store is made up of this special stationery, just like you were saying, that must be exactly. Otherwise, they throw you out or they send you to Farcash, whatever. And It's got all the stationery. It's got vitamins and has ashtrays. And yes, ashtrays. And this is one of the things I've heard. I've heard this from enough people that I believe it. Actually, at this point, if you say anything about Scientology, I'll believe it. You can say they eat yogurt and potato chips all day long, and I'll believe it at that point. But ashtrays, where they'll sit there, and in order to reach tone 40, they'll raise the ashtray up and say, stand up, thank you, sit down. Stand up, thank you, sit down. And they do this in an ashtray for hours, and they spend $1,000 an hour to do it. And so if you want an ashtray, you got to go to the one-stop shop and you buy an ashtray. And my buddy Paris isn't, it never seems to be open when I'm nearby because I really want one of those ashtrays. I really want one. I think it'd be awesome. Sort of like putting a, stuffed deer head on the wall.
They probably have a high-quality B12 supplement there.
Yeah, I'm sure. It keeps them all nice and hyper.
You said they sell vitamins. I was like, it took me a second to get onto that. I was like, oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's a vitamin shop because, they don't believe in psychiatric drugs. So if you really need help, here's some St. John's wort. That'll make everything better. It's like, yeah, vitamins are great, but dude, medicine is there for a reason for a lot of folks.
Yeah.
And
no shit, right?
Yeah, and that's all this place is. And this guy, our buddy Paris, he owns the place. And Paris is our special friend. We actually named him Salesman of the Month. Salesman of the Month. I'm sure you saw the video when I went before the the Downtown Development Board. Have you seen that one?
We've had guests the last couple of weeks, and we haven't done Scientology stuff. I have it on the docket though for later. After the interview, we'll certainly run that.
It was awesome. It was awesome. And honestly, I went up there because I believe in downtown. I believe in Clearwater, and I went to the Downtown Development Board and I introduced ourselves. Hi, my name's Ted. We're with Cult City Tours. When we want to bring people downtown, we're running tours. The only company that does it. We're going to be running, anywhere. We're going to have 100 people a week. Over a month, you're talking 300-400 people a month. Economic impact is going to be about $40 per person if they stop and dine. And then it's like I did the math for them, and that they sat there, and it turns out that out of the 5 people on the board, 3 are Scientologists. and yeah, I mean, afterwards, I was reading some of the comments on them on YouTube. It's like, how did I get through the door with balls that big? And the answer is a wheelbarrow. And and so I'm standing in front of these guys, and they're just, and it's stunned silence. I mean, they're all just staring at me going, and I'm just like, any questions? So I step away and all that, and Mark Bunker's actually ex officio on the committee, and he at the end says, I'd like to thank Ted Reinhardt for his wonderful idea and bringing people downtown, helping community. And one of the Scientologists, our buddy Paris, who owns One Stop Shop, he's the chairman of this one. He stands up, he sits there and says, don't be deceived. This is a bigoted hate group. It's a hate group.
You seem pretty hateful to me.
It was hurtful to me because I'm a big guy, but I'm not a group yet. I mean, I'm going to CC's tomorrow, so I might be a group by then. But, it's like, dude, hurtful. Ouch. Seriously, there were tears. And so
you've been laughing this whole time. You don't strike me as a particularly hateful individual. It's how I bury the hate. It's how I bury the hurt. Really, I laugh at the hate. But Paris gets up there and he just, we're a hate group, we're a bigoted hate group. Oh my God, don't be deceived, don't be deceived. And that made it around YouTube. And all of a sudden, my tours the next month booked solid. And so I named him thank you, Paris. And I call myself, I'm dressed up, I call myself Commodore Obvious, because of just the ridiculous outfit. And so I sent him a little certificate that says Commodore Obvious Salesman of the Year Best Buddy Award. And I'm sure he hustled that off the mothership right away to see what the next thing he needed to do was. But because of that, it's funny. These guys can't get out of their own way. They can't get out of their own way. They can't not be themselves. And so when he gets up there and starts saying, blah, blah, hate, and it's like, all he had to do, if he had said nothing, then we probably would have disappeared in the first few weeks. But he had to say something, and thank you, Paris, man. All of a sudden, we're a global phenom. I actually walk the streets right now, and people honk and say, hey, Commodore Obvious, and I'm really popular at Applebee's. Oh, yeah, they're not what Scientology isn't what it once was. Like, we make this joke around here that the best thing that could ever happen to us would be for Scientology to start coming after us, right?
Yeah.
Do you know how much money we could raise on fucking Patreon if we're like, help, our podcast network is being harassed by the cult of Scientology? People be like, you know what? I don't have much, but I got $5 for you.
They'd be like, oh, they need to buy better cameras.
Oh man, they got good stuff. They got license plate readers on the street. It's really creepy. But the way I look at it, honestly, the way I look at the whole thing is, these guys, I'm creating jobs. If they have to hire PIs to follow me around, $20,000-$30,000 a month. Mm-hmm. Great, I'm improving the economy locally. And when you have somebody following you, you really feel wanted and never alone. It's great. If you're ever depressed and feel nobody cares, you write a letter to Scientology saying, "Hey, you guys are full of it," and they send someone to follow you around, and there you go. Someone cares. That's what they should change it. Scientology. We follow you because we care.
We follow you because we care. I think a great tactic is taking selfies with them. That's a great tactic.
Oh my God, we the south side of the superpower building. I call it the Supermax building. It's a huge monstrosity downtown. That's where all the buses come in and out, and they load and unload all the time. And we played a game with our clients called Count the Cameras. We counted up to 35 cameras on that one side of the building alone. And it got to the point where our clients would go up, and they'd sit there and they go, poke, 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 poke. And they take selfies with it, and they take pictures of it. And just a few days ago, we went and did the count again. They have 12. But on the north side,
you're doing the good Lord's work, sir.
Hey, it's what we actually did was we have a game. We played the game originally. The game for the longest time was Count the Cameras. Whoever came close got 2 free tickets to another called city tours. But they moved all that, and now what they do, and what they shifted to, is trying to have people harass us or heckle us on the streets. And we'd be walking along, and got some homeless guys there, and same folks I see every now and then. I try to slip them some coffee every now and then. Hey, why not? And they tried to put people in with the homeless guys that are in their worst clothes, and for them it's $200 tracksuits, and so they're hanging out in $200 tracksuits, trying to look homeless and inconspicuous. We walk past, and they go up, this is bullshit, lies, and then they run away.
Man, the unhoused population has enough problems as it is already without fucking Scientologists trying to mix in and act the fool.
Well, for a lot of the homelessness is a major problem, and so is mental health. And if you're talking about Scientologists, mental health sums it up. So that's what they do now. They have people run past us, lies, or drive around the block. You pay too much, and it's like, dude, they paid $10, and you paid $100,000 to listen about Xenu. Who's the sucker around here?
The sucker.
And I also feel like the people who would go on the Scientology tour, right? They're partially to get heckled by Scientology. They're like, oh shit, I got heckled by an OT.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we actually, if it wasn't for them, I would hire someone to follow us around in tin hat mumbling. Seriously, because that's part of the experience. It's kind of like imagine going on the Pirates of the Caribbean ride without pirates. And so imagine downtown Clearwater without Scientologists. So fortunately, like I said, they can't get out of their own way. So every time they do it, we actually, like I said, we changed the number of times we've been heckling. We start the group at the beginning, and everybody gets the guess. Pick a number between 1 and 20. And whoever gets the closest, they get 2 free tickets. So whenever we get heckled, everyone goes, 1, 2, and they're applauding and cheering. And these poor guys who think they're intimidating us go, huh? I better call the mothership. They'll tell me what to think. And so that just, they hate that. They hate that.
Oh my God.
I know.
It's oh God. If Dave and I lived in Clearwater, we would be doing this exact same thing, I feel like. It's trolling. I mean, you're trolling Scientology in the belly of the beast, and my hat is off to you, sir.
I am trolling hard, and believe me, it's a lot more fun than Facebook.
Dude, it is, because it's in real life. You're an IRL troll.
Yeah, I know. I'm straight up. I call myself the Commodore, walk around, and they're just so much fun. And it's got. I'm afraid though I'm losing my sex appeal, seriously, because they're starting to cut back. And now when we go to now when we're walking around downtown, it's like we'll see Scientology security ahead of us, grabbing any random Scientologist happening on the street, pulling them inside, and they lock the doors. There's it's even better. It's even better. There's blocks and blocks. Downtown Clearwater's 101 acres. 99 of it is just cult city crazy, 100% pure. And they used to have they have an entire row of Potemkin Village like buildings, and where the little front organizations are, and you used to be able to look inside and had beautiful carpet, beautiful upholstery, and just nice offices. When we started going this tour, Within 2 days, all those windows have been frosted white. You can't see in. All of them. So basically, downtown Clearwater, there's not a single clear window now. It's just like, yeah. And you know who? And you know who's responsible?
So how have the local businesses, restaurants, little shops, and stuff that are not affiliated with Scientology? Have they responded to this in your experience?
They're not. There's no such thing. There's no such thing as non-affiliated.
Really?
And that was one of the saddest realizations that we had just 2 days ago. Actually, I should say last night. Last night at about 10 o'clock, I had that realization. The saddest thing ever. We got a big tour coming in. Mike Redner, the author, and also the author of Blown for Good, Mark Headley is coming also. Mm-hmm. And we got 6 other big names from the show, Scientology Aftermath, coming in, and they're doing a benefit tour. And we're sponsoring it. We're making enough to cover our action, but everything else goes to the Aftermath Foundation. And one of the things we want to do, so we got 80 people signed up. 80. That's 2 bus loads of people. And we wanted to do a reception downtown. So basically, we walk downtown, do our thing, and then we have a reception. We take over, take over our outside seating area of a restaurant, something like that. They sign autographs. We have free swag to give out and everything. Every restaurant we went to, without fail, we'd say, "Oh, we'd like to bring in 8 people." "Oh, that's great." "Oh, what's the group name?" "Cult City Tours." "Oh, you're not welcome here. You're not welcome here." That's what we got from 3 restaurants, and there's only 4 downtown. And we got.
Wait, your downtown only has 4 fucking restaurants?
Yeah, that's it.
The downtown where I live is 2 blocks, and they're not like big city blocks. They're like cute upper middle class suburb blocks of downtown. Mm-hmm. Fell out of the sky, gentrified, right?
Beautiful.
There's 4 restaurants that all touch each other on like half of one of those blocks on one side of the street. Where the fuck are all your restaurants?
Yep. They're gone. I mean, there's one they call. Oh man, City of Clearwater is probably gonna send the cops over to tase me. They got one block they call it the District. It's the main arts and entertainment center of Clearwater, and both sides of the street are owned by Scientologists, not the church, but parishioners. Both sides of the street are owned by them. So if you have a business there, it's because they approve, and if they control who does and doesn't get in there. We actually had one of the restaurants say to us, If you come into our shop, we will throw you out immediately because what was that? I'm trying. Let me paraphrase. Because the physical safety of our staff is in danger. Yeah,
that's weird.
And one of the places we went to was actually Pour Yours. I'll use their name because they should be called out on this one. Wine place downtown, real friendly. We show up. And, oh, yeah, great, no problem at all. Yeah, great, no problem at all. We'll put in extra tables. We got a live band. It'll be great. Bring us 8 people. And I said, well, we may have more people coming. You may have like an extra 20, 40, 50 people coming. Hey, that'll be a great night. Yesterday, they said, oh, well, after talking to the other businesses in the district, we decided we shouldn't have you here. Yeah. So literally, we're bringing, 2, and with the walk-ins, 3 buses of tourists. And find a single restaurant downtown Clearwater that $1,000 for the evening. That's what it's like. It's gotten to the point where we are actually getting, bust ourselves, and we're taking the clients out of. That was the saddest thing in my life at that moment, honestly, is because when I do the tour, I always encourage clients. Stay after the tour. These small businesses, these restaurants are all by small businessmen, women, entrepreneurs. They have staff that waitresses that rely on this money. When you're done with this tour, come on downtown, have lunch. Hey, they got great wings there. Hey, that place is really good. And I'd recommend all these places. Mm-hmm. I'd recommend all these places to our clients.
Looks like we may have lost our guest.
They go and they
bam. Yeah. What is that?
Disconnection would be an improvement.
Oh.
Oh yeah, that's where we're gone, man. We're so gone. It's we have actually I love that line because we actually have a joke when we start the tour. It's like if you do encounter a Scientologist in the wild, please, always remember keep your hands inside, hands and legs inside the walking tour at all times. Do not feed the Scientologists because it interferes with nature. And if you pet a Scientologist, don't, because his mother will disconnect from them and never talk to him again.
So we lost you for a second, and we thought maybe they'd come for you finally. We thought maybe they had thrown you in the van.
If they did, I would scream like a girl. I honestly would you would hear me from the other coast. I get what you were saying, that you recommended all these businesses. None of them will have you now because of your connection with you're a suppressive person. Oh, well, I'm like super suppressive. Matter of fact, I'm getting T-shirts made up that says
you're the gatherer of the suppressives right now.
I am producing more SPs daily than pretty much anybody else. I have generated 200 SPs. Now, you gotta figure. I'm generating 200 SPs a month.
Yeah.
But it's when you go downtown, I used to be really for downtown. I love downtown. It's a cute little downtown.
Yeah.
But if it's Scientology owned property, doesn't matter who's running it. If you do something they don't like, they're scared.
Right. I mean, and that's what we talked to when we talked to Mark. We talked to him a lot about, that was the platform that he was running on, is that downtown Clearwater is beautiful and you want to appropriate all of these funds to renovate the downtown, but the downtown is inaccessible because of Scientology.
Yep. And they're
not their parishioners. It's the corporation of Scientology that is the problem.
Yeah, it is. And actually, it's the parishioners that own the properties. Because we're walking around downtown, and it's like, we got one block with restaurants, but you're not welcome because you're an SP. It's like, tell me why anyone would want to come downtown now. Basically, it's like going to the zoo. You go to the zoo, and then you leave. That's you don't wander into the lion's cage. It's not,
no.
And so that's what that's kind of what downtown was. And I was really kind of sad about that, because all the money that's being spent, all the hope downtown, all these small businesses, they got them. They're under Scientology's thumb. And,
it's not only that; it's the people who live there that can't enjoy the fact that they live in a nice place because there's nothing to do.
Yeah, we go to Dunedin. Dunedin is like 5 minutes up the road. It's got like 8 breweries, 3 distilleries, dozen restaurants, good parking, ample parking day and night. And it's just a fun place to be. We go over to Safety Harbor. We go down this downtown St. Pete, which is a fantastic metropolitan area, and we party down there. But you go to Clearwater, no one goes to Clearwater for a good time because it doesn't exist. I tried really hard. You get loaded, you get drunk off your butt, and you go outside of the flag building and go Zeno at 2 a.m. and nothing happens.
I feel like cults tend to gravitate more towards cities that don't really already have kind of a bustling downtown area, or something that may be a little bit more inexpensive so that it's more easily taken over. Like there's a city up north in California that I used to live in for a very long time that is also being taken over by a cult called Bethel. And there is it's like a Christian spirit science type cult where they take a bunch of your money and then pretend to give you a degree in something.
Oh, sounds like college.
but it's kind of the same thing, the Bethel students they work in all of the local businesses, and then local businesses open up that are owned by them, and then they buy up a bunch of property and then put Bethel students in. And I see this parallel between Scientology, because now I have more of experience talking and reading and studying about Scientology, not like Scientology itself, but what happens around Scientology. Like what happens to the area around them, where their fucking churches are, where their fucking parishioners are. And and it's crazy. And I feel bad because a place like Clearwater has such potential to be cute, and just it's in Florida, for fuck's sake.
I know. I mean, the city itself overlooks a bluff overlooking the Intercoastal and the beach from there. I mean, it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. And the best part is, Clearwater right now, Scientology is wonderful. You can always find a parking place. There's never any crowds. You don't have to wait in line. There's never any crowded stores because there's no stores. The restaurants are all 4 of them, and if you're an SP, then you don't have to worry about getting seated because they're never going to serve you anyway. And so it's a great opportunity. It's great. People leave you alone because there's nobody there. But it's Clearwater. Clearwater got the fuzzy and the lollipop on this deal. It really did, and the city is not helping. Honestly, the city itself, the bureaucrats. I love the bureaucrats. I think we got some of the best city employees you've ever seen ever. I've never seen a city employee. Most cities you see 5 city employees standing around and one actually has a shovel. Around here, they actually all work. I feel like I really get a lot for my money around here, which is weird. But the city hall itself is seriously messed up. They hate me more than Scientology. I keep appearing on the docket. Cult City, does it help or hurt downtown? I actually heard that they're upset with me because they spent over $50 million. And it's all public record. They spent over $50 million trying to come up with a catchphrase for Clearwater. Clearwater beautiful, Clearwater sunny, Clearwater gateway to the beaches, all that kind of stuff. And do you know what sticks? Cult City.
Yep.
My $9 domain name is the one that's getting traction. And it's like, you're
not only trolling Scientology, but you're also trolling the city council.
I know, and I'm not even trying. I'm not even trying.
You're not even trying.
I'm not even doing any of this intentionally. None of this is intentional. I don't go out of my way.
That's the best, though.
I know. I don't go out of my way. I don't set anything up. I don't intentionally do anything. I mean, I'm a buffoon in a costume walking around empty streets with a dozen people. That's it. I mean, I'm just a clown. I'm an absolute clown.
I feel like I feel like the city could just lean into this and like eventually get rid of Scientology, but in the meantime, like drum up some tourism.
Yeah, I mean, Scientology is here, and until they either until enough people wise up and they dry up, or the FBI raids them and shuts them down, they're there. And it's like the way the city deals with it is, I didn't see anything. What Scientology? I can't see. I never learned to read. And so they're just kind of stumbling around in the darkness on this, and it's like, you got what you got. You don't fight Scientology. They're big. They're there. They own the property. You can't exactly send bulldozers. And use what you got. Yeah. And that's one of my favorite stories. I used to work with Florida Main Street, and we used to do a lot of economic revitalization for a lot of towns in Florida. And one of my favorite stories is there's a city in the Midwest, and it's a factory town, and the factory makes toilet seats. That's the only thing the city's known for. Little village is known for toilet seats, and they got this beautiful downtown. And they kept trying to come up with reasons for festivals, reasons for people to come downtown. And they finally wised up. They went to the manufacturer and they said, "Do you have any damaged toilet seats or secondhand toilet seats, all that kind of stuff?" And I said, "Sure, no problem at all." So they took it and turned into a 1-week festival. They called it the Toilet Seat Festival or something similar to that. Where I'm not kidding you either. Things like they've got an art contest where you paint toilet seats. They've got toilet seat art. They've got toilet seat planters. They even have a toilet seat Olympics where they're shock putting toilet seats and measuring the distance. and I'm thinking Clearwater could be the toilet seat of Florida.
That is really funny. We never would have. One of the, it's really like we end up watching a lot of city council meetings. Especially in 2020. Not because of Scientology, but because of there's other people wiling out at city council meetings right now. But we had already been watching city council meetings like in various parts of the country, mostly locally because we do a local news show, or sometimes up in the North State, California, where Media Wench is from, because that Redding City or that Shasta County city, they got everything. They even got chemtrails up there at their city council meeting. But
okay,
so we were watching those, and then after Mark ran for office, and then the council had to decide whether or not he was going to be on the development board and stuff. We were like glued to Clearwater city council meetings, and it was just kind of crazy because the things went together. I know Mark ran, was it in the primary in I forget. Yep. It was his election for city council was during the primary, Florida's primary.
It was off year.
Yeah, it was off year, but yeah, we were glued to the city council meeting. Like his first one, we were like, "Oh my God, what's the first city council meeting going to be like?" Because we knew what other city council meetings looked like and how crazy that shit could get.
Mm-hmm.
And the first one wasn't that crazy.
No, Mark actually. I like Mark Bunker. The man is intelligent, well thought out, soft spoken, and he is very, very considerate. The guy's like Santa Claus. He really is.
He looks
like Santa Claus. And I enjoy talking to him on the very rare occasion I get to. It's funny. The city council has actually accused him of owning my company because apparently I'm not bright enough to own a company on my own. Mostly right. I'm really not that bright. I mean, the fact that I'm even, can even do math is very impressive. But yeah, I mean,
math is overrated.
You had the bright idea to bring somebody else's idea to fruition. And
yeah, I mean, see a need, fill a need. I'm like a Disney movie. And so he has that idea, and now they're, city council's accusing him of everything. Oh, you're connected to this. You're making money. You own this. And it's like, no. I mean, if you go online, it's like we went to the state. We got a little corporate filings and everything, and it's all ours. And it's like, if you're gonna say, give anybody credit for jacking things up, give me the credit. Don't share the credit. I mean, this guy's not responsible for this horrible level of trolling that's going on. He's a polite, nice gentleman. I'm not. I've never been accused of that, and I work very hard.
We have the same kind of thing going on here.
I work very hard to make sure I'm never accused of being nice or polite or a gentleman.
So, how do you think that you're going to be able to keep doing this? Like once everybody goes back to work and stuff, do you think it's got some legs?
I don't know. This whole thing was a joke to start with. And so far, we've just been riding this huge wave. I mean, it's been surprising. It's been absolutely almost terrifying. It's amazing. We're actually looking at hiring staff. And so if you know anybody in Clearwater area that is a cosplayer that wants to dress up as Xenu and lead the tours.
There's literally a bassist. There's a guy who's the bassist in a band. His name is bassist PJ Bassist or something. I forget exact name. We've actually invited him on the show because he's another streamer, and he lives. I forget where he said like. He said like the north, like because Tampa Bay. He said he lives like on the north part of the Tampa Bay area.
Yeah, Tampa Bay's huge. Tampa Bay's like San Francisco. I mean, it's an immense area. But like I said, we're looking at hiring cosplay actor to dress up as Xenu and go stomp around the streets, or Scientology actress or an actress's lookalike. I would love to have like John Travolta dressed up from Pulp Fiction, walk around the streets. And I think that'd be a hoot. But right now, it's tough to find. It's tough to hire anybody. At this point, hey, we'll give you 50%. We'll give you 50% of the gate, and you get to keep all your tips. 1099 employee, figure it out. Good money. You work pretty much when you want to. We deal with the rest. So give us a call. CultCity.us. Shameless plug.
Cult City. No, this is for your shameless plugs. This is why we have you here. We want people to know about.
This is fucking so funny.
Oh God, I'm so proud of you.
This is everything.
Yeah, we are an enigma wrapped in a riddle, put in a shoebox in the back of your closet on a pile of sweaters.
I knew exactly not to me. I knew exactly what that was like. They're really doing this. I was like, I bet people are going to sign up for this, and then they did.
And they are. And seriously, our website's like this WordPress website, and we're doing this whole thing. I think the most expensive part of our business are my shoes. That's it.
You gotta have good walking shoes.
That's it. The most
it's
expensive
a write-off too, so blow yourself.
And I'm not being too my own horn, but anybody can do this. There's enough crazy, Cult City crazy to go around. I welcome competition. Get crazier. Bring people downtown. Start walking around town. Just go off the hook. The more of us downtown,
funny.
Yeah, there's room. I'm not. This isn't proprietary. Making fun of crazy people is not proprietary. And it's
no,
not at all. And it's if they want to do it, come on downtown.
You should rent it here. I'll give you your next idea. Here, you ready? Okay. I'm gonna throw this at you. You put in a good word with us to Mike Render. Okay. Mm-hmm. Make it start doing like Xenu bouncy houses.
Xenu bouncy houses. That's a good idea. I'm thinking about it right now. Next year on Elron's birthday, we'll block off the street, do a free festival. We'll call it like Xenu Days. And we'll have
dude, no, call it the golden age of downtown Clearwater.
Yeah, golden age. Yes, the golden age with brand new tech. And we'll have just these bizarre alien head mixed drinks.
Should have a bouncy house that looks like the ship, looks like his ship.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
That'd be fucking hilarious.
Like the Apollo?
I would love that. The Apollo, I know.
The Apollo.
And if I had millions of dollars, I would open a club in downtown Clearwater, a dance club, and I would just call that shit the Apollo, because that's just something somebody calls their dance club. But then it would not be a Scientology business. It'd be the name of their fucking stupid first boat, and they'd be hell pissed.
Oh man, that's the thing. If you could find a spot that's available, they literally have gobbled up almost all the property. It's either owned by them, by parishioners, by the government. I think there's literally, like I said, there's like 9 acres that aren't owned by anybody affiliated with any of those groups. 9 acres. That's it out of 101 acres. It is amazing. And we walk along when we do our tour. We can't, stop in an empty parking lot. We can't walk on the left side of the power poles and light poles. I mean, we have to be careful where we're walking. We have to keep it just on public sidewalks, because the second you step off, boom, they'll have the cops roll up on you.
Well, gee, you're lucky, a city council member who can give you access to the what is exactly public space.
We actually had to call on the city for some help on this one, because when we had this great big tour going through, they didn't know what to do. Originally, they were saying that we needed a public event permit. And it's $200 and amplified sounds. You have to supply porta potties and security and everything else. It's like, dude, we're just walking on the sidewalk. And like I said, that's when I say our civil servants in Clearwater are fantastic, because they here's the formula. Can you fit the formula? We made a couple of tweaks to our tour. That's one of the things you really like is when we're doing this tour with Mike Renner and all the biggies. Like, there's always a joke. I'm the most unserious guy in Scientology. These guys are very serious. These guys know their stuff. They can talk eloquently about it. They know the abuses, the ins, the outs, everything, because they've done it. Me, I'm just like I said, I'm a clown. I'm some harlequin on the street. But as we're talking to them, you need to do this. But the city themselves, the bureaucrats, said, well, can you do this? And we said, yeah, we can do that. Can you do this? We can do that. No problem at all. Oh, but you can't use amplified sound. For 80 people, you can't use amplified sound. So thanks to them, we now have it so that all of our guides are going to be on their cell phone in a conference call. And anybody can dial in during the tour to listen to the tour as we go through. So it's going to be 80 people walking around downtown on their cell phone, and no one's going to be saying a word out loud. And the best part is, it's you can dial in anybody anywhere and listen along for free. And Mark Smith Levin and some other names are going to post that number just before we get started.
Can I pirate? Can I pirate?
Yeah.
Can I do a pirate radio stream of your phone call? Can I dial in and just broadcast that shit?
Of course. Seriously, I'm not joking. It's going to be something. I mean, I've heard some of the wind up stuff, and it's like, you're kidding me, really? Wow. And it's gonna be awesome. Yeah, make sure you guys get the copy of the phone number and dial in. Pirate the stream, record it, edit it, put it to a really good soundtrack. That'd be awesome. I want a copy.
Oh shit, Juan Maserati can remix it. Well,
Tim DeVille can spin it.
Since you started doing this, you've learned a bit more about the cult of Scientology. I would imagine you met some fucking people and seen some more stories and are having people reach out to you. If you, it doesn't matter. It doesn't bother me one way or another if you use a name or whatever. But has anybody reached out to you and told you something surprising or interesting since
dozens upon dozens of people have reached out to me with stories of I was in Sea Org in 75 to 78 or 79. I've heard stories of a helicopter landing on their Clearwater Bank building, which is the Scientology Welcome Center. I've heard stories of a helicopter on every Friday afternoon landed near the bank building, which they owned, and they would drop off bags loaded with $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 in cash every Friday. And it's like, really? Huh. Interesting. I've heard stories of the Sea Org, the orgies they used to have on the boat. They call it the Sea Orgy.
Ew. You know what? That's that's disgusting. If L. Ron was there, don't. Ew. It's fucking ew.
One of my favorite. I always joke. It's like I had this one client that asked me, "You probably know what's wrong with L. Ron's teeth," and my only response is meth. He's got meth mouth, and we're laughing along. I mean, hey, don't joke. That's methed up. And so that's
a weird disease that is only known in Scientology.
Yeah, that's.
We come complete with sound clips, sir.
That's awesome. You guys are rocking it today. And but I get so many stories. It's like, even one of the stories which amazed me was a member of the downtown development, who's a Scientologist, used to be the largest strip club owner in Peoria, Illinois. And now, you gotta have money to be a public Scientologist. So apparently he made his money peddling flesh. Good for him. Capitalism works for everybody. But you don't get up there and then get to justify and say, well, I'm holier than thou. We know your history. And so we get stories where everything like this just keeps coming out of the woodwork. We had some kooks too, and I love them all. That Scientology is in my backyard. The squirrel has a camera. There's a little fuzzy squirrel with a camera in my backyard. And it's like, does it have a long tail? Yes. Does it run away? Yes. It's just a squirrel. But we get all kinds of stories.
That was just Stephen really Mango. He has no idea what's going on.
but it's we get these bizarre stories. We get these great folks on our tours. Folks are reaching out and contacting me. And lately, some of the stuff I've been hearing, I love this as a fun show, but some of the stuff that's been coming out lately will just enrage you. I mean, we're talking human trafficking. We're talking child sex abuse, child labor. We're talking unfair labor practices, physical, mental abuse and torture.
And it's a parallel that we've been seeing. I've been fucking saying a lot lately is that these QAnon people seem so obsessed with human trafficking and child abuse and all this other shit. Funny they never fucking go after Scientology. Yeah, maybe this is what we need to focus them on now.
Yeah, and it's known, but they don't talk about it. And there's this one lovely lady downtown that wants to be a big player downtown, and the only thing she can do is scream. She's had this big march for let's fight against human trafficking. We're gonna unite against human trafficking. And then I made a little post there. It's one of the businesses that actually threw us out. One of these little businesses in downtown threw us out, because they didn't want the Scientologists. Their business was all Scientologists. And they didn't want the business upset. And it's like here she is with the owner saying, "Here we are, united against human trafficking." And it's like, yeah, great. Here's a person that's benefiting from human trafficking saying we're opposed to human trafficking. It's like it'd be ironic if there was so much irony involved.
Yeah.
The thing about that whole thing where people are, it's kind of what comes out of like the QAnon thing where those people want to be against human trafficking, but they don't actually want to do any of the work, right? Because there are organizations where people they're like basically fucking detectives or like private FBI agents working for like $38K a year at some nonprofit where they do the work of like trying to dismantle the rings, right? And one of those people might get wind to Scientology one day, maybe.
And Scientology, I guarantee you, Scientology will shut them down. Their records are sealed. You never know what's going on. You don't know what their books are. You don't know who's even in country. They hand out these religious visas to minors, to anybody at all. They get into the U.S. They take, this is all, like I said, secondhand innuendo. But they take their passports away so they can't escape. They can't get out.
We've heard that one before. When people come from out of country to join the Sea Org, they don't have access to their own passport anymore. Yeah,
never. They're literally locked up. I mean, you can walk around every now and then, run into a few, and they're speaking all variety of languages, and it's horrific. And for a while, until thanks to this benefit tour, for a while I started feeling like the barkeeper outside the gates of Auschwitz, where all the camp guards would come and have a good time. And you walk around, you see these public Scientologists smiling. I'm clear. I'm OT, whatever. And it's like your entire thing is based on the human misery and suffering of others. You can't be a moral person. You can't feel good about yourself.
But they put on yellow shirts and they go to the disaster areas and hand out pallets of water.
That's one of the buildings we stopped by on our way, which is also totally fogged up too. We do the tour along the whole strip of all their little front organizations, like the United for Human Rights, where they have this little pamphlet that talks about, don't do human trafficking and that kind of stuff. So they say they're opposed to human trafficking, child labor, and all this, but then they're accused of it. But the way they look at it is, well, see, we've got a sign that says we're opposed to it, so thus we're not doing it. See, we're the good guys, and that's one of we're the good guys. And it's it's like we walk by the Way to Happiness building where they hand that little pamphlet, The Way to Happiness. I'll give you a synopsis: don't murder people and brush your teeth. That's all you need to know. And
we know about The Way to Happiness. We watch Scientology TV.
Oh yeah, that's every now and then. I'll tune in for a laugh with their banging soundtrack. Boom, boom, boom. Boots and pants and boots and pants and boots and pants and boots and pants. And here's David Miscavige. This is the most. Actually, no, I'm sorry. This is the most important religion ever. Hey, David Miscavige, he's 4 foot. He's 4 foot 13 inches.
That's right.
Tom Cruise towers over him.
Oh God!
I can and you know what? I believe there's a reason Jen Elfman's never on the same stage as Tom Cruuse. She probably would have stepped on, or Tom Cruise and David Miscavige. She'd probably step on David Miscavige.
Well, when people follow us on Twitch, our little alert is David Miscavige putting that medal on Tom Cruise at the thing with the dope ass.
The thing the size of the freaking hubcap.
Well, that's one of them. One of them right now. I didn't change them today, so now if you follow us, a kitty cat types furiously on a laptop. So
I
change them out all the time. Got to keep things interesting.
You do. Yeah, yes, you do.
Got to keep things interesting.
Technology stuff. No, I'm a Luddite. I'm a Luddite. I'm genuinely pleased I managed to figure out how to make my headset work. I mean, I'm ecstatic. I just, technology.
You're analog. You're analog.
Yeah, I'm straight up analog. I'm old school. I miss my flip phone. I honestly do. I thought it was cool.
I think you can buy one.
Yeah, I know. I am the kind of guy that still thinks digital watches are.
Right.
So that's probably one of the reasons why. Yes, go ahead.
So, what day is this big old tour that you have going down with the phone call in thing?
This big old shenanigan is going on Saturday. This Saturday. L. Ron Hubbard's birthday.
Oh,
that's right.
So we are literally, everyone that Scientology has put basically a hit out on will be parading around Clearwater. We're going to do a full loop of the superpower building where David Miscavige is currently in residence. So he'll be able to look out his window and see everybody that's escaped and everybody he hates right outside his window.
Oh my! What time?
We step off at 4:00 East Coast time, which I think is like 2:00 in the morning your coast. I just
Yep. Okay.
But it's gonna be an adventure, and I'll make sure y'all get the phone number because we're gonna post that just a little before we get started because we don't want it to crash because we're expecting thousands of people listening. It'll be so much fun.
It's gonna be super fun. Yeah, it's gonna be great.
And one of the things, yeah, go ahead.
I would say, go ahead and give everybody your website here and let everybody know where they can find you if you have a Facebook and all that good shit. And
shameless plug, yep.
Shameless plugs. Do your shameless plug.
Shameless plug. Well, hi. I'd like to thank you for taking your time and talking with me. I'm Tourguide Ted, and our website is www.cultcity.us. I don't even know my website. Cultcity.us. Yeah. On Facebook, we actually tried to have a Cult City on Facebook, Cult City Tours. They wouldn't let us, so it's Clearwater City Tours now. CCT, same thing. So, but don't even follow us on Facebook. I hate Facebook. Facebook's ridiculous. If you want to, you call me directly. Our number's listed. You send me an email. We're always happy to listen to the crazy, bizarre. And when you're in Clearwater, stop by, man. Give us a call. Come take the tour. It is the most bizarre hour-and-a-half tour you'll ever have in your life. I mean, it's like we're visiting a ghost town with robots roaming around. If we're lucky, we see one. Occasionally, we do have a wild sighting of a Scientologist in the open. And that's it. I got really.
Ted. Go ahead.
No, that's all I got. I mean, really, like I said,
that's all you got. Right on.
This thing is a joke. So I've got no fancy marketing. I've got no flashcards. I've got no $1 million campaigns.
I
literally spent like $20 on the whole thing with the website. So
that's perfect. That's all you needed. And a little bit of boost from your friend Pierre, and you're good.
And we're good to go, man. Oh, not Pierre, Paris.
Paris,
an angry man. And then if my mom named me Paris, I'd be angry too. I really would.
Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I know it's late for you, and I do appreciate you answering my phone call because I do like to just call people sometimes. And
this has been the most fun I've had with my clothes on and no Jello.
Well, until Saturday.
Until Saturday. Saturday's going to be weird because, like I said, we're literally running the tour downtown with almost maybe three bus loads with people, and then we're leaving the city without spending a dime.
Oh, God. I can't wait to listen, and it's going to be a whole lot of fun. Thank you so much.
I'll give you a shout out when we're there.
For joining us, and we'll be in touch for sure.
I look forward to it. Y'all have a good one.
You have a wonderful night.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
That was Ted from Cult City Tours, Clearwater, Florida. What a nice guy.
What a nice guy. He's great.